That crush you can't stop thinking about? They might be the exact reason you feel so anxious and unhappy all the time. We've all been there. Your heart does a little flip every time they walk into the room. You check your phone 100 times a day, just hoping to see their name pop up. A simple "hey" from them can make your whole week, while being left unread can completely ruin it. Crushes are supposed to be fun, exciting, maybe a little nerve-wracking. But what happens when that excitement turns into anxiety? When the hope turns into constant disappointment? That's when you might be dealing with a toxic crush. And trust me, it's a trap that is so easy to fall into and so hard to get out of. By the end of this video, you'll not only know the 10 types of crushes that can slowly poison your happiness, but you'll also have the power to see the red flags from a mile away and protect your own peace. The hot and cold. First up, we have the master of mixed signals, the one I call the hot and cold. One day, they're completely into you. They're texting you first, laughing at all your jokes, remembering tiny details about you, and making you feel like you're the only person in the world. You go to bed feeling like you're on top of the world, convinced that things are finally happening. Then, the next day, nothing. It's like you don't even exist. Your texts are met with one-word answers hours later, or worse, they're just left on read. They avoid eye contact and seem completely uninterested. You're left confused, rereading old conversations, trying to figure out what you did wrong. The truth is, you did nothing wrong. This is a classic manipulation tactic, whether they know they're doing it or not. It's called intermittent reinforcement. Think of it like a slot machine. If you got a prize every single time you pulled the lever, you get bored. If you never got a prize, you'd walk away. But because you win just often enough to keep you hopeful, you stay there, pulling that lever, wasting your time and energy. This person gives you just enough attention to keep you hooked, but never enough for you to feel secure. It creates an addictive cycle of highs and lows that can be incredibly damaging to your self-worth.
The taken one. This one is tricky because it often feels so romantic, like something out of a movie. You meet someone, you have this incredible connection, but there's just one tiny problem. They're already in a relationship. They tell you things aren't going well with their partner. They say you understand them in a way their partner doesn't. They confide in you, text you late at night, and blur the lines between friendship and something more. You feel special, like you're the one they really want to be with. So you wait. You put your own love life on hold, waiting for them to finally break up with their partner and choose you. Here's the hard truth. If they wanted to be with you, they would be. People who are willing to emotionally cheat with you are very likely to do the same thing to you. You're being kept on the sidelines as an ego boost or a backup plan. They get all the benefits of an emotional affair with you, the attention, the validation, the excitement, without any of the risk or commitment. You deserve to be someone's first choice, not their secret or their maybe someday.
The project. You see them, and you don't just see who they are now, you see who they could be. This is the project. They might be a bit of a mess, maybe they're struggling in school, can't hold a job, or are known for being a bit of a heartbreaker. But you see the good in them. You think to yourself, if they just had someone who truly believed in them, they could change. You become their cheerleader, their therapist, their life coach. You spend all your energy trying to fix their problems, hoping that once they're fixed, they will finally see how amazing you are and fall in love with you. The danger here is that you're not crushing on a real person. You're crushing on a fantasy, a version of them that only exists in your head. Your affection is conditional on them changing into the person you want them to be. This is not only unfair to them, but it's exhausting for you. You pour all your energy into them, leaving none for yourself. And often, even if they do change, it's not because of you, and they don't magically turn around and choose you as a reward. You end up feeling used and heartbroken.
The ghost. This is maybe one of the most confusing and frustrating crushes to have.
The ghost is someone who drifts in and out of your life without any warning or explanation. You'll have an amazing week of talking, hanging out, and feeling a real connection. Then poof, they vanish. They stop replying to texts, they stop watching your stories, they just disappear off the face of the earth. You're left wondering what happened. Then weeks or even months later, they reappear with a casual, "Hey, what's up?" Like nothing ever happened. This behavior, often called ghosting, and its zombie-like return, is incredibly disrespectful. It shows a complete lack of regard for your feelings. They only want you around when it's convenient for them. When they're bored, lonely, or their other options fell through, they know they can come back to you for a quick dose of attention. This leaves you in a constant state of uncertainty, never knowing if they're here to stay or if they're about to disappear again. It's impossible to build anything real on such an unstable foundation.
The subtle belittler. This one is so sneaky, it can take you a while to even realize it's happening. The subtle belittler is a master of the backhanded compliment and the just kidding insult. They'll say things like, "Wow, you actually look really nice today," with a little too much surprise in their voice. Or they'll make fun of your new hobby or your favorite band. But then when you get upset, they'll say, "Geez, I was just joking. You're so sensitive." These little comments might seem harmless on their own, but over time, they are like water dripping on a rock. They slowly, piece by piece, chip away at your self-esteem. You start to second-guess yourself. You try harder to impress them, to prove them wrong. You start to believe that maybe you are too sensitive or that your taste in music is bad. A crush should make you feel good about yourself. They should lift you up, not subtly tear you down to make themselves feel bigger. This isn't a crush, it's a bully in disguise. The user. We now arrive at the user. This person has your number on speed dial, but only when they need something. Need help with their homework? They call you. Need a ride across town? They know you'll say yes. Feeling sad after a fight with someone else and need a shoulder to cry on? You're their go-to emotional support person. They know you have a crush on them, and they use that to their advantage. They know you'll drop everything to help them because you're hoping that this time they'll finally see how much you care and return the feeling. But the moment you need something, they're nowhere to be found. They're too busy, or they just don't reply at all. This is a one-way street. You are giving, and they are just taking. It's an exhausting and thankless position to be in. Relationships of any kind, even a potential one, are about give and take. If you feel more like a free 24/7 service than a person they genuinely care about, it's because you probably are to them. So how do you tell the difference between being nice and being used? The line gets really blurry, especially when your emotions are involved. You might tell yourself they're just having a hard time and they need you. But when the pattern is constant, when they only reach out when there's something in it for them, it's not a friendship and it's definitely not the beginning of a healthy romance. The fantasy. This crush is one that you've mostly built inside your own mind. Maybe it's that quiet person in your class you've never spoken to, or someone you follow on social media who looks perfect online. You don't actually know them. You don't know their flaws, their fears, or their weird habits. All you know is the highlight reel you see, or the perfect personality you've invented for them. You imagine entire conversations, dates, and a future with this idealized version of a person. The problem here is that you're falling in love with an idea, not a human being. It's safe because a fantasy can't reject you or disappoint you, but it also keeps you from finding a real connection with someone who is actually available and who you can get to know as a whole person, flaws and all. This type of crush can keep you emotionally unavailable for years, chasing a dream while real opportunities for happiness pass you by.
The one who loves the attention. This person is a validation vampire. They are fully aware that you have a crush on them. In fact, they love it. They don't have any romantic feelings for you, but they will do everything in their power to keep you crushing on them. They will flirt just enough to keep you on the hook. They will like all your photos, send you ambiguous texts, and give you just enough hope to make sure you stick around. Your attention is like a fuel for their ego. They'll never make a real move, and they'll never give you a clear no, because if they did, they would lose their #1 fan. They keep you in this gray area of maybe forever. You might find out they're talking to multiple people this way, collecting admirers like trophies. To them, your feelings are a game, and the goal is to see how long they can keep you playing. It's cruel, and it can make you feel completely disposable.
The ex's clone. You've just gotten out of a relationship and suddenly you find yourself crushing hard on someone new. But if you look closely, they seem familiar. They have the same sense of humor as your ex. They like the same movies. They even kind of look like them. This is the ex's clone. It's very common to be drawn to what we know, and after a breakup, it's easy to latch on to someone who reminds us of the person we lost. This crush isn't really about the new person at all. It's about trying to fill a void left by your old relationship. You're not seeing this new person for who they are. You're seeing them as a replacement. You're trying to recreate the good feelings you had in the past, instead of creating new ones. It's an attempt to avoid the pain of the breakup and the hard work of moving on. This is unfair to the new person, and more importantly, it stops you from truly healing and finding someone you love for who they are, not for who they remind you of.
The too cool for you. Finally, we have the too cool for you. This is the person who seems to exist on another level. They're popular, they're aloof, and they carry themselves with an air of being just a little bit better than everyone else. When you're around them, you feel like you have to perform. You find yourself trying to act cooler, be funnier, and prove that you are worthy of their time and attention. They might give you a small nod of approval now and then, which feels like a huge victory, but most of the time, they make you feel small and insignificant. This is what psychologists sometimes call striving. You are constantly striving for the approval of someone who makes you feel less than. It's a toxic dynamic because your self-worth gets tied to their opinion of you. You believe that if you can just win them over, it will mean you are finally good enough. But a healthy crush should never make you feel like you need to change your core self to be accepted. The right person for you will like you for who you are right now, not for who you're trying to be. Recognizing these patterns is the first, most important step. It's the moment you stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking, "Is this crush even good for me?" The key realization is that the problem isn't just their behavior, but your attachment to the hope that they will change or finally see your worth. The power isn't in getting them to like you back. The power is in recognizing a toxic situation and choosing to give that love and energy back to yourself. So let's quickly go over what we found. A crush should add a little bit of sunshine to your life, not a constant storm of anxiety and self-doubt. Whether it's the hot and cold who plays with your emotions, the user who only shows up when they need something, or the subtle belittler who chips away at your confidence. These types of crushes drain your energy and damage your self-esteem. They keep you stuck in a cycle of waiting and wanting, preventing you from being open to a real, healthy connection. Understanding these patterns is your shield. It helps you protect your heart and choose crushes that lift you up, not bring you down. Because you deserve to crush on someone who makes you feel as amazing as you already are. If this video opened your eyes, a sub to RainWish would mean the world so you don't miss the next one. Goodbye.